Hi, I'm Rachel Orme. For those of you that have not met me before, I teach Pilates at Anytime Fitness Worcester. I'm also qualified to teach yoga. Last week, if anybody watched what I put on Facebook, I did a basic yoga-based warm-up and mobility of the spine to release tension in the spine, neck and shoulders. Today I'm going to focus on Pilates, and I'm going to start Pilates from the very beginning. Maybe some of you are at home and have never done Pilates before and would like to try, so I'm going to strip it right back to the beginning. Those of you that have done Pilates before, it's not a bad thing to come right back to basics and just strip everything back again. So just a little bit of history about Pilates, just before we start, very briefly. It's a holistic exercise. It connects the mind and body together. It's an exercise that is based on building endurance in key postural muscles to help improve posture. And it's also, it helps with coordination, balance. It also calms the nervous system, calms the endocrine system with the deep breathing. It helps remove the waste products from the body through the lymphatic drainage in our body. And it's just a really nice way to do exercise. It's very gentle. Please be careful if anybody's got back problems. Please don't do anything if it doesn't feel right. Please don't go into pain. But today's going to be really, really basic. It's going to be about 30 minutes, that's all. So we're going to come into good standing alignment. So we're going to bring the feet together. And then we're just going to fan the heels out, followed by the toes. The feet are hip width apart and facing forward. Think about the triangle of balance between the base of the big toe, base of the little toe and into the heel. And just rock forward and back, side to side. Just align your skeletal frame so you're within the triangles of balance and the toes are light. Come up to the knees, lock the knees out and then release. Soft knees, slightly bent. Up to the pelvis, lift the ribs away from the pelvis. Lengthen up through the spine, up to the neck and the crown of the head. As if someone's got a piece of string lengthening you up. Standing as tall as you can. Chin parallel to the floor, eye gaze on the horizon. Just round the shoulders forward, up towards the ears. Just draw the shoulder blades down over the ribs, into their back pockets, into what we call our scapular soft V. So stay facing forward as you round the shoulders forward. Just draw the shoulder blades down towards each other and just see if you can feel a squeeze between the shoulder blades, just where my fingers are. That's your scapular soft V. If you can't feel that, don't worry about it. Just keep your breastbone lifted and that will keep your chest open and your shoulders down. From here, we imagine we've got a bucket of water inside our pelvis. We want to tilt the pelvis forward. Imagine water spilling out the front. Tilt the pelvis back. Imagine water spilling out the back and just make smaller and smaller tilts until you can envisage the water's nice and even. We're just finding neutral spine. And when you've done that, just relax your arms down by your side. Just soften behind your eyes. Just soften your face. Just scan your body, see if you're holding any tension anywhere. And try and release and relax them. And then what I want you to do is then just bring focus to your breath. And to teach Pilates breath, it's nice, deep thoracic lateral breathing. Just bring the palms of your hands round to the lower part of your rib cage. Have your fingers meeting together. As we breathe in through the nose, breathing in wide and full, we aim to expand the lungs widthways and into the back. And as we do, our fingertips will part. As we exhale through our mouth, through pursed lips, like blowing through a straw, our fingertips will return back in towards each other. So breathing in, nice, deep thoracic breathing. Breathing in wide and full, fingertips parting, exhale through pursed lips like blowing through a straw, and our fingertips will return in towards each other. So again, nice deep thoracic breathing, breathing in, just relax your arms down by your side now. Breathing in, expanding our lungs widthways and into our back. And as we exhale, wringing the lungs out, removing all the waste gases that sit at the bottom of our lungs. We only use our lungs 2/3 of full capacity in everyday life. So as we breathe in, we're really getting air into our lungs, filling them right up and moving that stagnant air that sits at the bottom of the lungs. So just breathing in wide and full, nice, deep thoracic, lateral breathing, expanding the lungs widthways into the back. And then exhale, wringing the lungs out. So that's the Pilates breathing. So we always think about alignment, breathing, then we think about centering, engaging our core. So we want to imagine we've got a belt around our hips. We want to breathe in wide and full. And you can bring your thumb and your forefinger and just place it on your abdominal muscles just to feel. So inhale to stay. Exhale, I want you to pull your abdominal muscles in towards your spine to 100%. As if doing that belt up to the 10th, the tightest notch. Release on the in-breath. On the out-breath, pull into 50%. Releasing the belt to the 5th notch. Release on the in-breath. On the out-breath, pull into 30%, just a third of the way. Releasing the belt to the 3rd notch. And hold there now for both the in-breath and the out-breath. So that's our core engagement, and we talk about our core being engaged to 30%. We should keep our core like this in everyday life, so our abdominals are gently pulled in towards our spine. We wouldn't want to pull them in all the way because they'd fatigue very quickly. So we're just going to practice that again. Now you can keep your thumb and your forefinger there to feel if you want to, or you can bring your arms down by your sides. So inhale, breathe in wide and full to prepare. On the out breath, pull your abdominal muscles in towards your spine to 100%, doing the belt up to the 10th, the tightest notch. Release on the in-breath. On the out-breath, pull into 50%, releasing the belt to the 5th notch. Release on the in-breath. On the out-breath, pull into 30%, releasing the belt to the 3rd notch, and hold there now for both the in-breath and the out-breath. So keeping our core engaged there now. As we keep lengthening the spine, try not to lean back. So as you stand tall, just bring your rib cage, soften it, bring it forward towards your pelvis, so you can feel this corset that we also talk about in Pilates around your middle. Thinking about those, keeping your toes light, your knees soft. There's lots to think about. Try not to worry too much. It takes a long time to get used to everything, and you might suddenly think you've forgotten something. It doesn't matter. We're going to now mobilise now, release tension in the shoulders. So on the inhale, we're going to take the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades down in towards each other into that scapular soft V. We're going to do 3 more. Inhale, shoulder shrug. Exhale, draw down. Reach your fingertips down towards your legs, to your toes. Inhale, shrug. Exhale, draw down. 1 more. Inhale, shrug. Exhale, draw down. Now we're going to release tension in the neck. So inhale to stay. Exhale, you're going to take your ear over to your shoulder. Draw your shoulder blades down. Try not to let the shoulder lift that you're moving away from. Feel length down the side of the neck. Inhale to return. Exhale, ear to shoulder. Inhale to return. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale to return the eye gaze to the horizon. We're going again. Exhale to turn out. Inhale to return in. Keep your shoulder blades drawn down and towards each other. Exhale to turn out. Inhale to return in. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale to return the eye gaze to the horizon. We're just going to do 2 more repetitions. Exhale to come out. And we're just, the main aim, main focus over anything else is just feeling length down the side of the neck and feeling length down the back of the neck. 1 more. Exhale to turn out. Try not to let me control your breathing. Inhale to return in. Exhale to turn out. Go at your own rate. Inhale to return in. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale to return the eye gaze to the horizon. So standing in that alignment, keeping that core engaged. We're now going to draw circles with our elbows. So inhale, you're going to bring your hands to the shoulders. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades down and towards each other. And we're going to just challenge our shoulder girdle stability. So on the inhale, we're going to bring the elbows forward, up to the ceiling. Exhale, round and down. Just try and keep your eye gaze on the horizon, toes light, knees soft. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, round and down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, round and down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, round and down. So just bring your arms down by your side now. We're going into mobility of the spine and we're going to do roll down, roll up. So inhale to stay, keeping your core engaged at 30%. Exhale, you're going to bring your chin to your chest. You're going to roll down a vertebra at a time. Nice wheeling motion. Hands sliding down the thigh, over the knees, down the shins. If you're tight in your lower back, have a bigger bend in the knee. Coming down to your ankles possibly, shins or over the feet to the toes. Inhale here, lengthen down the back of the leg. Exhale to roll up a vertebra at a time. Nice wheeling motion of the spine, stacking vertebra on vertebra, lengthening up through the spine, drawing the shoulder blades down, eye gaze to the horizon. We're going to do 5 more. Inhale to stay. Exhale, chin to chest, rolling down a vertebra at a time. Nice wheeling motion of the spine. Inhale to stay. Exhale to roll up. Have a bigger bend in the knee if you're tight in your lower back. Really try and stack vertebra on vertebra, lengthening up through the spine. Drawing the shoulder blades down, eye gaze to the horizon. Inhale to stay. Exhale to roll down. Inhale to stay. Exhale to roll back. Inhale to stay. Exhale to roll down. Try not to let me control your breathing. It's exhale to roll down. Inhale to stay. Exhale to roll up. Let's do 2 more. So as we're doing this, we're just trying to mobilize the spine, releasing tension. And in Pilates, we always do mobility, strength, release. Inhale to stay. Exhale to roll up. 1 more. This time we're coming down and we're going to come down onto the mat and we're going to stay on the mat. So coming down into all fours posture. So this is knees under hips, hip width apart, hands under shoulders, shoulder width apart. If you can, spread your fingers, have your index fingers pointing forward so you can try and keep your weight through your knuckles in your fingers. Now you probably can't see my wrists at all. Just to let you know, and I'll roll this back a bit further, if you have any problems with wrist soreness, you can roll your mat up if you've got one, or roll the towel up and just place the palms of your hands on that roll and just have the fingers over the top. That will take pressure off your wrists. So I'm coming forward now because I just need some room behind. So we're going to do some core, we're going to challenge pelvic stability and our core. Upper body is going to be switched off and we're going to extend our leg behind us. So just make sure you've got plenty of room. So knees under hips, hands under shoulders, fingers spread. Lengthen away from the tailbone up through to the crown of the head. Draw the shoulder blades down and towards each other. Eye gaze directly down the mat in imaginary line in soft sand. And to find neutral spine, we just do some pelvic tilts one way then the other. Thinking about a marble in the small of our back and just make the tilts smaller so you can imagine the marble resting in the small of your back. Take focus to breath now and engage your core to 30% on an out breath or use bout methods and pulling in 100% all the way on the first out breath. Releasing on the in-breath, out-breath pulling in halfway, releasing the bout to the 5th notch. Release on the in-breath, on the out-breath, pull into 30% and hold there. that bout method, I'm just going to refer to it as bout method as we move forward in the class now. So, keeping our core engaged to 30%, our abdominals gently pulled up towards our spine. We want to keep our pelvis square to the floor and stable. We're going to keep our upper body switched off, so try not to let the shoulders lift towards the ears. And we want to just keep our tailbone tucked under slightly so we can feel that core sit, that engagement between our ribs and our pelvis. So inhale here, and exhale, you're going to draw a line in soft sand with your right toe. Just extend it away. And then inhale, retrace the line, come back to start position. Try and keep your eye gaze directly down the mat, shoulder blades drawn down, keep your upper body switched off. Main focus, pelvic stability. Exhale, extend away. Using your core to keep the pelvis stable, your center. Inhale to return. We're going to do 4 more. Exhale to extend. Inhale to return back in. So the main principles of Pilates is each movement flowing with the breath. No beginning, no end. Each movement with purpose, precision, concentration, control, core engagement, and visualization. So it's not the number we do with Pilates. We focus on being really precise, really focusing, working the body from the inside out. So we're going to swap over sides now. So exhale to extend, keep the pelvis square, keep pulling in, let it all come from the center. It's believed by Joseph Pilates that our movements are only as strong as our center. So it's the foundation for all our movement, our arms and our legs. If our foundation is weak, just like a house is built on rocky foundations, it will crumble. Strong foundation, strong arm movement, strong leg movement. So we're doing 6 on this side. Exhale to extend. Inhale to return. Try and keep the shoulder blades drawn down, upper body switched off. And when you finish, we're just going to come into child's pose. So big toes together, knees out to the side of the mat. Just take your arms over your head. And we're keeping this really basic today. And over the weeks, I will build it up. Some of you will recognise where this might go if you've done Pilates before. And if you want to add on your extra bits, if you know. Eventually, we'll be going to all fours, swimming from that exercise over the weeks. So just bring your bottom onto your heels, hands over your head, just push into the mat, just breathe into that stretch. And keeping your bottom on your heels, just trying to bring your torso down, forehead down. So it's this release of your spine. So from here, we're going to go down onto the mat. Now, you will need probably either roll your mat up a little bit the other end, just like I showed you with your wrist, or you may need something like a block. You probably haven't got it, or a flattish cushion. And we're going to go into strength into our back now. So I'm going to be this way so you can see what I'm doing. It's called swan strength. So the feet are hip width apart. And your arms are going to be in capital E position. So we call the capital E, elbows just below the shoulder line and hands in line with the elbows. Lengthen down the front of the leg down to the tip of the toe and up through to the crown of the head. Shoulder blades drawn down and towards each other, and to find neutral spine, just have it rock side to side. Just align your skeletal frame so your pelvis is square to the floor and feels comfortable. Take focus to breath and engage core to 30%. On an out breath, for those of you that have done Pilates before or used the bout method. Imagine your lower arms and hands are on thin ice, so you don't want to put any pressure through them. And we're really challenging now shoulder girdle stability, and we're going to focus on working into the back, the lower back. So from here, keeping your core engaged, eye gaze directly down the mat, an imaginary line in soft sand. Inhale to stay. Exhale, you're going to float your breastbone off the mat. Lengthen down the front of the legs down to the tips of the toes. Keep the pelvis grounded. Inhale to stay. Exhale to come back down to the mat. So what tends to happen here, inhale to stay, exhale to float off the mat. Try not to put any pressure through the arms. It's all coming from the back. Some people tend to lift their eye gaze because they think they're lifting higher. Try not to. Try and keep your head in line with your spine. Keep your eye gaze down at the mat. Inhale to stay. Exhale to come back down. We're going to do 4 more. Inhale to stay. Remember, it's not about the number we do. It's the ones we do with purpose, precision, concentration, control. So really lifting as high as you can. Inhale to stay. Exhale to come back down. 3 more. Inhale to stay. Exhale to float up. Arms are on thin ice. Inhale to stay. Exhale to come back down. Inhale to stay. Exhale to float up. Inhale to stay. Exhale to come back down. Inhale to stay. Exhale to come up. Inhale to stay. Exhale to come back down. If you're using a block or a towel, just place that to one side. Just take your arms over your head. Just lengthen your toes away. Inhale, tighten and tense. Lengthen fingertips away from tips of toes and vice versa. So you'll lengthen your spine. Lengthen your abdominals. Just rest your forehead on your left hand and just bring your right heel into your bottom for a quad stretch. Engage your glutes, push your pelvis into the mat, just lengthen down the front of the leg. If you can't manage to get your ankle, you might use a towel and just bring it round, use that to bring your heel in. Release on the in-breath, out-breath, swap over to the other side. Engage your glutes, push your pelvis into the mat. Try and keep your upper body switched off. Once you've done both singly, if that's difficult, you can keep your legs straight, bring your hands, one hand into the other, reach over your bottom, draw your shoulder blades down if you've got any back problems, or you can bring both heels into your bottom. Just lift your breastbone. Just draw your shoulder blades down and towards each other. And we're keeping this really low at the beginning for those of you starting, and I will layer it up as we go along. But for this week, just keeping it at the lower level. Just release when you're ready. And then just to extend into the spine, just bring your elbows into your side, hands in line with your elbows. We spend a lot of time in forward flexion. It's now recognised that we don't do a lot of extension in our spine. So just bring your elbows in, hands in line with your elbows, core engaged. So use bout method if you need to. And we're just going to float our breastbone off the mat. Keep the eye gaze down at the mat. Just stay on your forearms. Keep your pelvis grounded. And just hold there. Draw your shoulder blades down. Breathe. And then just push back now into your child's pose. And walk your hands in towards you. I'm turning around, but just bring yourself into a seated position. It's just so you can see what I was doing. And we're going to go into now seated spine twist. So we're sitting on our sit bones, feet are hip width apart, legs are hip width apart. If you find that you're really tight in your lower back and that's very uncomfortable, you may want to sit on a rolled towel. I don't expect you've got a Pilates block or a block. If you do, Or you can roll your mat up and just sit on that roll of mat, and that will just, if you sit on the very edge of it, on your sit bones, the only bit of your pelvis, and just let your pelvis round forward, that will just take pressure off your lower back. So lengthening up through the spine, up through the neck and the crown of the head, as if someone's got a piece of string lengthening you up. Chin parallel to the floor, eye gaze on the horizon. Just rest your hands on your knees. And keep your shoulder blades drawn down and towards each other in that scapular soft V. If you need to find neutral spine, just rock forward and back on those sit bones, thinking about that bucket of water, and just rest somewhere in the middle where you can imagine that water's nice and even. Engage your core to 30% on an out breath, or use your bout method. And from here, we're going to rotate into the spine, basic level of spine twist. So inhale, we're going to float both arms up, and exhale, we're going to bring the tips of the fingers to the shoulders. Sit tall, draw the shoulder blades down, so try not to slump into the spine, keep length. On the exhale, you're going to rotate round, little pulse, inhale to return. Exhale, rotate round, little pulse, inhale to return. As we sit in this position, if we've got a seated job, then you may be able to feel this quite a lot in your hip flexors. Try and switch those off. The hip flexors are here. Try and use the bout around your hips and your core sitting tall. Exhale, to pulse, inhale, return. We're trying to keep a pelvis facing forward. Exhale, rotate around to pulse, inhale to return. Exhale, pulse, inhale to return. Exhale, pulse, inhale to return. Exhale, pulse, inhale to return. One more each way. Exhale, pulse, inhale to return. Exhale, pulse, inhale to return. So from here now, our last exercise for today, so we're just going to bring our feet in towards our bottom now, as far as feels comfortable. So keeping the knees bent, and just fan the heels out, followed by the toes, just like we did when we were standing. So our feet, our knees and our thighs are hip width apart. Hands might be placed behind our knees on the sit bones again, lengthen, shoulder blades drawn down, eye gaze on the horizon, core engaged. So it's a very basic exercise now we're going into for our core strength. So we want to think about that belt around our hips, and we're thinking about scooping in and hollowing there, and thinking about the corset as we sit tall. So all we're going to do, these hands are lightly placed behind the knees, is inhale, we're going to bring the chin to the chest. We're going to roll back off the sit bones. As we do, we bring our shoulders over our pelvis. We feel an abdominal squeeze between the ribs and the pelvis, and we make a C curve with the spine. And then exhale, scoop and hollow with your core, sit tall. Inhale, chin to chest, C curve with the spine. These hands are lightly placed. Exhale, scoop in and hollow, sit tall. Inhale, chin to chest. Roll back off the sit bones, C curve with the spine. Exhale, scoop in and hollow, sit tall. So it's just a pelvic tilt backwards. We're going to do 3 more. Inhale, chin to chest, C curve with the spine. Exhale, scoop in and hollow, sit tall. Inhale, chin to chest, roll back off the sit bones, C curve with the spine. Exhale, scoop in and hollow, sit tall. So try not to lean forward, lengthen up through the spine. 2 more. Inhale, chin to chest, C curve with the spine. Exhale, scoop in and hollow, sit tall. Last one. Inhale, chin to chest, C curve with the spine. Exhale, scoop in and hollow, sit tall. Just come down onto the mat then, take your arms over your head. Just lengthen your toes away, full body stretch again. Just hug your right knee into your chest, so you can trap your left quad into the mat. Just breathe for a hip flexor stretch. Release when you're ready. Just swap over to the other side. So contract your right quad into the mat, hug your left knee in. Just release, just hug both knees into your chest. You can bring your head to your knees, just have a rock side to side. And then just coming down, we're just going to do some relaxation to finish. So either having your feet to the outer side of the mat or knees resting in towards each other and feet to the outer side of the mat. Arms down by your side, palms facing up. Just to help you to relax, we're going to inhale, we're going to make a fist, we're going to screw our toes up, our face, our glutes, our thighs, our shoulders, and then exhale, release, relax. Inhale, tighten and tense. Exhale, release, relax. One more, inhale, tighten and tense. Exhale, release, relax. And just let your body go. And as you start to let it go, just start to bring your awareness to the support your mat is giving you, where your body makes contact with the mat, where the backs of your heels or your feet make contact with the mat, the backs of your legs, your glutes, your arms, your shoulders, your hands, and the back of your head. Just bring your focus to your breath. Breathing in for a count of 3 to 4. Breathing out for a count of 3 to 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. And as you focus on your breath, if any thoughts arise, acknowledge them. Try not to engage with them. Just let them float on by or dissipate up into the sky. Just focus on letting go. Simply focus on your breath coming in and out of your body. You are trying to calm your mind and tune into yourself. You will become more aware of subtle things such as the breath coming in and out of your body. And again, if a thought arises, just gently bring your focus back to your breath. And then in your own time, just wriggle your fingers, wriggle your toes, just bend your knees if you haven't already. If you can, just hug your knees into your chest. Take your right arm over your head, and if you're able, just bring your knees over to the right, bring your head onto your arm, just lie there for a moment. And then in your own time, just slowly come up into a seated position. So I'm trying to do these, hope you've enjoyed that today. I've tried to do these in small sections, so hopefully during the week that you might go back to them and perhaps do it 2 more times in the week, just so that you practice. And then next week we'll take it up to the next level, and I'll just show you this level and the next level. And so you start to be able to build on your Pilates as time goes on. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.